All right, guys, this is another question that's related to abstraction or decomposition, and this one uses structure charts to try and make our lives a bit harder or try and confuse us. Now, the question is quite simple. It's just the way that they ask you, or the sequence or the order in which they ask you this question, and it might confuse some of you, but I swear the answer is pretty standard and it's very easy to follow. And it's usually a template that they like to use as well. So here it says, the structure chart represents parts of a complex problem. The process of decomposition is used to break down the complex problem into sub-problems. Describe the benefits of using such an approach. So some of you guys will probably think, okay, how on earth am I going to describe how a structure chart makes life easier? Now, you don't actually have to describe the process of the structure chart. You just have to say the benefits of using a structure chart or the benefits of decomposition. And if you take a look at the answers here, they're pretty funny, they're pretty easy. So the first thing that you would get a point for was to state the obvious. So breaking down a complex problem makes it easier to understand or solve, or smaller problems are easier to solve, which is pretty obvious as a human being. If we see something that's going to require less time to read or go through, it's probably going to be considered an easier task. Also, if each problem is broken down into separate parts or into a much smaller part, it's easier to deal with, it's easier to solve any problems or to debug any problems. And last but not least, something that we don't really consider is usually these projects, they aren't solved by an individual, they're solved by groups of individuals. So sub-problems can actually be divided or given to different teams, or to different teams with different experience. Okay? Now, that's all they expect from you. State the obvious. Do not try and explain a process. I know questions like this might confuse you, and you might be thinking, what on earth are they expecting from me? Well, if you don't know what to write, just write anything you know related to the topic. The more you write, the more chances there are for you to get a point. Even if it asks for 3 and you write 4 or 5 points, they will have to look through all of your points. So you are likely to obtain extra points, or to obtain points that you wouldn't have got if you didn't mention extra points. Right. Hope this one was useful for you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.